Hello you guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Neka with the Chic Hustles. It's been a while, y'all. Your girl be in the field, okay? Your girl be in the field. But I kind of want to talk about one of my biggest weeks on Amazon Relay, which was about $20,000 that week. We ran 3 trucks. And when I say mine, I'm not referring to just me alone. I'm referring to my business partners as well, just from a holistic standpoint. So we did about $20,000 that week. Between 3 trucks. And so doing this took a little bit of strategy because a lot of people say that Amazon really doesn't pay well, but if you try to use these tips and tricks, hopefully you can make more money, a bang for your buck, so to speak. So let me jump into tip 1. So my first tip that I will give you guys is post a truck. So post a truck is a feature that Amazon offers where basically you can tell them that you have a truck available. You can let them know pretty much what time you want to run, also how far you want to run, and how much you want to get paid. So the reason why this has been helpful is because apparently Amazon has a lot of like 1 mile, 2 mile, 30 miles, 40 miles of packages, freight to, I guess, say that needs to be moved that they do not put on the load board, allegedly. Okay, allegedly. Now I've tried this and I've gotten really good rates. I'll show you guys some examples. Thank God I met this man and he literally told me that he does this like 3 or 4 times a week, and it was 1 mile for $200. So $200 a mile. And remember that Amazon, for the most part, they have round trips, but most of their loads are going to be one way. So this isn't round trip rates, but anyway. So he posted a truck and he put that he only wants to go 10 miles and he wants to be paid $200. And so he has been striking gold to pair this load with another long load. He also told me, and other people have told me, that they don't only just do this for like once a day. They'll do like 1 in the daytime, 1 in the evening, and then 1 at night. So making anywhere from $600 to $700 a day to drive less than 45 to 100 miles. So this was amazing. Like I said, I have tried it. I have been able to get a couple loads doing this method, but I've noticed lately I've been trying to post a truck for these short routes, and either I'm just waiting too late to post a truck for it, or either other people just getting these loads. So post a truck is a feature that's within your load board. And yeah, if you don't know, you wouldn't know if nobody ever told you to do this method. But yeah, you can pair this load with another load that you're doing that may be longer, shorter, whatever. You can just post a truck, and a lot of people do this method. So tip number 2 is Amazon will call you. So I would recommend, if you have your do not disturb, or if you have call blocking on, to get rid of it or to save Amazon's number, because they will call you when it's extra loads on the load board that is not being moved. And when they call you, you can negotiate, right? So if they give you a call about a load that they need to be moved, you always want to go higher. This is a bidding process. So if they say they can only pay $700, you ask them if they can pay $900. I promise you, they will meet you in the middle. I have not once had a time where I've negotiated with them and didn't get what I want in the load. But I will warn you, you will mess around, and if it's know where your minimum is, because if you mess around too long, another carrier will pick up that load and you won't get a chance to secure that load for a really good rate. So like I said, I highly suggest that you save their number when they call. And also too, I wouldn't bet on this process just because it's not a nightly thing. This just goes with the demand of freight needing to be moved, or Amazon. But yeah, we have got really good loads based on this method. Just don't wait too long to negotiate, or don't just have your ducks in a row. So the way that you can know that Amazon may give you a call if it's just a lot of excess freight on the board, And like I said, if you see something on the load board, I would just go ahead and book it, just because this isn't a nightly thing. Amazon has their seasons, of course, when it's the demand is higher than usual, and that's usually when we see this take place. But if you do get a chance to be with an Amazon logistics person, hey, ask them for what you want, okay? Don't get too crazy, or maybe you can, you may get what you want, but this has been a really good process for us. Another thing I wanted to make note about this, that if you are doing this method, then make sure that you ask them the details and the specs of their load, because I have had an Amazon logistics person book me for a 56-foot trailer, and we received a rejection because they booked us even though they knew that we was a 26-foot box truck. So yeah, I like this method. Once again, it's just, you just cannot bet on it and bet that it will happen. But I will say, let's say you go 2 nights getting calls from Amazon about loads, and that's a good sign that that week specifically they may have a lot. Okay, so another tip, which I don't know what the success rate on this tip will be, but I have had a few of my other partners be real successful at doing this. I just don't know how often you can do it. But let's say if you go to the Amazon warehouse, you can see if you have a half of a truck, and this will have to be coordinated with logistics specialists, so definitely be nice to your logistics specialist. But let's say you have a half of a truck and they have a load still on the load board that is also a half of a truck and it's going somewhere similar. We have had logistics specialists actually allow us to pick up that load. So that way we was able to do 2 loads in one. Once again, I'm not going to say if this is correct or incorrect, but I will say that we have done it and we have been successful doing it. So the 4th tip is partnering with other owner operators or drivers that's in the warehouse to take your stops. So for whatever reason, Amazon will send multiple trucks to one location. And what you can do is, if you see someone beside you that's also going to that same location, and let's say he got 2 stops and you got 2 stops, you can actually partner together where he can only take that 1 stop and you take your stop. Once again, coordinate this with a logistics specialist. Once again, because this isn't the normal Amazon rules. These are just things that work. And so with you only going to 1 stop, you technically make more money per mile than the original load amount. So people usually don't like doing this. They feel like it's defying the rules, but I have my people in the warehouse where we do it all the time. The logistics specialists know, and I haven't had any problem. Once again, I'm not going to say if this is right or if this is wrong. I'm just giving you guys a tip on how to make more money. Okay, so the 5th tip that I would give you guys is to look around near your drop-off location to see if there's any warehouses that you could possibly pick up a load in order to come back. So let's say if your load is leaving out at 12, you pretty much wrap up around 8. You can look around that area that you drop off to see if Amazon has any more warehouses in that area to try to make it a round trip versus just deadheading back. So when we did this, we would always do this before we booked our loads, or we kind of started knowing which areas or which loads would have surrounding warehouses, and we pretty much took those loads because we could always double it up. Now I will say, if you have a driver, this does get difficult just because your driver is tired. They just went and did that run. They stayed, because most of the time you have to stay. It's usually not directly back. They have to sit for a few hours, may get some rest, and then the load is ready for them to bring back home. But because of that process, the driver needs a lot of time to go to sleep. Or to rest, I guess. So if you're doing that, I would recommend that if you use this method and you have a driver, first of all, up their pay, because we always pay more for these types of run. And second of all, please take in consideration that the driver needs to come home, get enough sleep before they go out and try to do that round trip again, just because that's starting to get more like on the road type of situation. So yeah, this strategy was really helpful in helping us hit the 20K week, because we started mapping out which warehouses was near our drop-off location. We would run those same routes every single day. So tip number 6, which is kind of going back to my last tip, is you always, if you have other load boards, you can always pair your other loads board with Amazon. So kind of the same situation. Let's say if you're going dropping off in Atlanta, you can always check the load board in Atlanta, or sorry, you can always check your other load boards to see if there's a load leaving out Atlanta going near, back home. So a lot of people use DAT, truck stop, whatever load board you have, even if you have a dispatcher, to let them know, hey, I'm headed to this location with my Amazon load. Do you got something coming back? Just because, Amazon, you do have to load and unload your truck. So that's a good mix. Now, we didn't use this method specifically when we did our 20K weeks. It was all Amazon. But I know a lot of people that mix Amazon with their other traditional load boards. So my last tip that I would give you guys is that you can lease people on or other owner operators to your MC. It's a lot of people that's doing that. I'm not going to go down that hole of the logistics and the legality to let another owner operator lease onto your MC. But I will tell you, if you are doing this method, just to make sure that you vet your people that you're allowed to lease onto your MC, just because they can get your load board suspended if they get too many